Let me share my 3 success habits that have helped me in my entrepreneurial journey. The first is living a healthy lifestyle. By eating a good diet, by exercising regularly, I feel like I have more energy, and that's been so powerful in my career as an entrepreneur. The second skill or habit that I have is surrounding myself with people who are intellectually curious, people who are lifetime learners. Because what that does is that creates an environment where I want to learn more. So when I have a friend say, "Hey Jim, here's a book. Have you read this new book? This is amazing." Then I want to pick up that book and read it. And I say back, "I haven't, but have you read this article that came out 2 years ago? This article has so much insight." So surrounding myself with lifetime learners has made all the difference. And then the third habit or success strategy is every December, my wife Mimi and I get together. We actually have this little formal meeting on our finances. And I ask her the same question every December. How much more will we save and invest in this coming year than we did in this last year? Think about how I phrase that. How much more will we save and invest this coming year than we did last year? Now, why do we do that? So that every year we're saving and investing more. We're increasing the amount of money we're putting aside to have good investments, to have multiple income streams, and you can do the same. Those are the 3 habits that I would say have made all the difference for us, and I hope you would use at least 1 or 2 of those for yourself. One of the areas I spent a lot of time, and it turned out to be a lot of time wasted that maybe you can learn from so you don't make the same mistake, is I was constantly comparing our company to other companies in our industry. And that's good because learning as you're starting a company and doing what other companies are doing that works is a really useful way to get up to kind of a level of average. But if you want your company to be extraordinary like we wanted ours to be, you have to do something different than all the competitors. So I think what I did is I spent too many years looking at all my competitors and trying to do what they were doing and just do it a little bit better. And that gives incremental growth, but to get exponential growth, you've got to do something different, something that shakes things up. You want to be careful, this is a calculated risk, because you want to make sure that what you're doing is not so far out there that it's going to just completely fail. And that's why I think you build that solid average business, and then you venture out and test in a couple of areas and see how it works. And that's what we did. We started changing the way we did business in a way that no one else was doing business. And all of a sudden we noticed that that part of the business was catching fire. So pretty quickly, we pivoted and we stopped doing what all the other companies were doing and started doing our own thing. And that's when we really accelerated. When it comes to books, especially around business, one book that I absolutely love and I think it's a must read for everyone is The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham. Keith happens to be a friend of mine, and this book has so many nuggets of wisdom from Keith's life as an entrepreneur. If I were going to recommend one book for the entrepreneur, it'd probably be The Road Less Stupid. Maybe the biggest calculated risk I ever took is when I left a big brokerage firm where I had a cush position in a corner office, making good money, all my expenses paid for, to start my own company. That was really scary, and it was a calculated risk. And I remember I had an argument with my manager at the time about what they were pushing down the retail channel that I didn't agree with. And we got in this big argument, and it turns out a compliance attorney got involved within this big firm and agreed with me, said that I understood the product better than this manager. Well, that made him furious. So I remember he was storming out of my office, and he stopped and he pointed a finger at me and he said, "Jim, let me ask you a question. Who pays for this office?" I said, "The company." And he said, "Who pays for your assistant and your computers and all that stuff? Who pays for it?" I said, "The company." He said, "Then who do you need to take care of?" And that really frustrated me. But in a way, he was right, because starting my own business, I had to pay for all those things on my own. And when I started my business and my wife came to join me, we realized it's hard to start a business. It's expensive to start a business. You have to pay your lease, you have to pay the computers, you have to pay your staff, you have to pay for parking, you have to pay for all that stuff. So it was a risky scenario, but it paid off. It was the best decision we ever made in business, is to go our own way and start our own business. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you subscribe.